What's up, Eagles fans? Welcome into the All-22 review driven by AAA. I'm Fran Duffy, and the Eagles come away with a thrilling 22-21 win. Was it the most beautiful win you've ever seen as an Eagles fan? Probably not, but this is a big one for this Eagles team going into a long week as they get ready for the division rival Dallas Cowboys next week. Before we get into that, though, let's take a look at some of these big plays. It all started on the opening drive. Desean Jackson, first play back in the lineup here since the early parts of the season. He's going to get this ball on a handoff, but I love what the Eagles do to kind of set this up because you've got Boston Scott back here in the backfield. This is going to be counter run action. So it's going to be a fake counter play. He's going to step as if he's going right, and he's going to come back left. You're going to get a couple of blocks coming inside. You're going to see that tight end Richard Rodgers, he's going to start moving this way. You're going to get the right guard, Nate Herbig. He's going to be pulling this direction. And then you're also going to get the wide receivers starting to block down as well. Everything is going to tell this Giants front seven that it is going to be a run to the left. But you're going to get Desean Jackson, once again, going behind the whole formation on orbit motion, and he's going to get this ball from Carson Wentz. The blocks that I want you to watch here are going to be from Travis Fulgham, who's just going to leak out right away, and then Richard Rodgers, who does a nice job. He's going to sell that pull block here on the counter run, and then he's going to bend back around. So those are going to be the two blocks, along with Jason Kelce, who's going to get out in front of this play for Desean Jackson. We let this roll, and you can see these plays start to develop. Watch Rodgers right here. He's going to make that turnaround. Look at these blocks up at the second level. Those guys all start to hit. Desean Jackson runs 12 yards for a first down just to get him into the groove of the game. The offense gets going and leads to a touchdown drive on the opening stanza. Let's fast forward now to later in the drive, and this play right here, this completion to Richard Rodgers, sets up a 1-yard touchdown run by Carson Wentz. And all you're going to see here, first off, is going to be some motion from Greg Ward. It's what's called return motion. He's going to start here from right to left, and then before the snap, he's going to go back around in what's called jet sweep action. But this little motion here, all that does for Carson Wentz is it gives him some information before the snap of the ball, because he's going to see how these second-level defenders react. Does somebody run with Greg Ward when he comes across the formation, or do they just kind of bump this where everybody kind of slides over a little bit, and now this defender walks out over Greg Ward? So once that happens, and we're going to let this play for a second, right when Greg Ward comes to the stop, let's hit pause right here. Perfect. So here's Greg Ward. You can see they had the little bump call out here. Carson Wentz sees that. He says, perfect. Zone coverage. So here's the play. You're going to have Greg Ward come back the way he came on jet sweep action. You've got the running back, Boston Scott. He's going to work the opposite way. That's meant to stretch out all of these defenders. You've got one guy going right. You've got another going left. That's going to stretch out those underneath defenders. The receiver here at the bottom of the screen, Travis Fulgham, he's going to work vertically, typically with an outside release, because he wants this corner to make sure that he is hugging towards the sideline. All this is meant to do is open up a nice void for Richard Rodgers, the tight end, right down the seam. Because remember, all these guys, they're working side to side, worried about these two players here. This corner, he's not going to be a factor. Carson Wentz just has to hit this spot right here, worried about that safety on the far side, just outside of the screen. But this is all designed to get to Richard Rodgers. We can let this play, and you're going to see Carson Wentz take the snap. Those defenders are expanded. There's the void. Richard Rodgers gets them on the 1-yard line. Carson Wentz runs it in one play later. Eagles get on the board 7-0 to start this game. All right, let's go down to the defensive side of the ball, and we're going to go to a play late in the second quarter. An Eagles turnover, an interception by Jalen Mills. And you're going to see that the Eagles on 3rd and long line up in what is called a double A gap look. And what I mean by that is you've got two players, two linebackers standing up in the A gaps here over the center. So that brings immediate pressure. And for Daniel Jones, he thinks, hey, I got to get this ball out of my hands fast because they are likely to blitz. I want to try and get this ball out quickly, see if one of my guys can try and get for a first down. He wants to hit the tight end, Evan Ingram, on a little slant route. That's his idea. Hey, the ball's got to come out hot. I'm going to try and get this ball out fast and see if I can beat the blitz. But the Eagles do a nice job of disguising this pressure because it is not going to be a cover zero blitz. It is actually going to be a little bit of a zone coverage. So let's let this play. And you're going to see both those linebackers that I circled, they both drop out. So you've got Nate Gary. He is right in the throwing lane here for the tight end, Evan Ingram. That ball's going to come out hot, and you're going to see right here, Evan Ingram feels that. We're going to let this play, and you're going to see that the ball's going to go right through his hands. He's trying to cradle up to try and catch this ball, embrace it, and take a hit. The ball bounces up in the air. Jalen Mills comes up with a diving interception. The reason why Evan Ingram doesn't go full bore and run through that catch point, he's expecting to take a hit. He sees those defenders drop out. He's expecting zone coverage. Eagles do a nice job of disguising the rush, creating a turnover in enemy territory. Let's take a look here at a very creative blitz now by defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz. That's able to get home. It's second down against Daniel Jones. And what you're going to see here ultimately is you're going to get a blitz from both Cravon LeBlanc and linebacker Nate Gary. LeBlanc is going to come off the offensive right side. Gary is going to come off the offensive left side. Now, you might think, oh, these two guys are coming from the second level. This must be a cover zero blitz, right? An all-out blitz. No, this is actually still only a four-man rush. The reason why is that the Eagles actually have both defensive tackles here dropping out. So you're going to have Fletcher Cox dropping out into the hook. You're going to have defensive tackle Javon Hargrave dropping out. So while you have those two guys coming from the second level, the two D tackles crash inside. Now, the reason why Gary is able to get home and why the left tackle does not pick him up is that the defensive end who is lined up right across from this left tackle, he is going to cross his face. He's going to work inside, and that is going to keep the left tackle's eyes looking this way. So he does not have the awareness now. That's a rookie left tackle to be able to see Nate Gary coming from depth. We can let this run, and you're going to see, just watch top of the screen. There goes Barnett inside. The left tackle doesn't see Nate Gary until it's too late. The linebacker's able to get home for a sack. Really well-designed blitz there by defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz and the defensive coaching staff. Nate Gary, the guy who's able to pay off there with the big play on second down to force a punt. And let's wrap this up with the biggest play of the day, and that was obviously the touchdown from Carson Wentz to Boston Scott to win this game for the Eagles. And look, they get down to the goal line. You get some big plays that get them down there. A hold or a face mask penalty puts them back. So just shy of the 20-yard line, they are back. That's got first and goal from the 18. So what do the Eagles do? Do they play conservative and try and get back some of that yardage? No, Doug Peterson is going to stay on the aggressive, foot on the gas. So you're going to get 3 vertical routes here from the Eagles. And what that's going to do is that's going to create a one-on-one situation where you've got Boston Scott matched up on a safety, Jabril Peppers. Now, let's take a look at the routes. You're going to have Travis Fulgham basically working to the post. You're going to have these two receivers as well at the top of the screen working vertically down the field. What you've got on the back end for New York is you're going to have man-to-man coverage, which is beneficial, but you also have basically a bracket here where these two safeties, they're going to be worried about those two inside receivers that are going to attack down the field. So that's where these safeties' eyes are. The benefit to that for the Eagles is that they're not really paying attention to Boston Scott because he's in the backfield. He's not an immediate threat to them. So as Boston Scott makes sure that nobody is coming after him on a blitz, he's going to release down the sideline, again, matched up one-on-one with this safety at the second level. And after that, it's curtains for the Giants defense. We can take this right from here, and you're going to see the dime that Carson Wentz drops here on a rope over the shoulder to Boston Scott. Eagles win the game on a hell of a throw by number 11. Just an outstanding job of execution down in the red zone. Eagles come away with the win. Was it the prettiest victory? No. Is that going to be one that we're all going to remember if this is a turning point? Absolutely. And because remember, wins are always important. Wins in the division are extremely important, especially when it is a tight race like what we've got here in 2020 in the NFC East. A huge win here for this Eagles team going into a little bit of a mini bye week, obviously, with the long week. Dallas Cowboys come to town next week. We will be breaking that all down all week long. Eagle Eye in the Sky podcast, myself, Greg Cosell, will be going through the film. Eagles game plan. We're going to be breaking down that matchup, Eagles Cowboys, for first place in the division next week at Lincoln Financial Field. Until then, we'll see you next time right here on All-22 Review, driven by AAA.